back to the channel, family. Make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to be a part of the crew. Otherwise, I'm about to get into this video and see what it do, okay? As you see from the title, this is more Reddit relationship advice. The links are in the description if you would like to support me, support my channel. I really appreciate those of you that have. All right, so let's get into this. Y'all just be getting it popping on Reddit. I swear, like, it always be something going on, somebody posting something up about their relationship. All right, so this is from Pedro729. It says, I'm a male 41 who is no longer interested in having sex with a wife because of her weight. Okay, so let's get into what he said. He says, I love my wife. We've been together for 20 mostly happy years and have 3 children. Oh my gosh, that's a long time, 20 years. Okay, the problem I have with my wife is her weight. I'm not saying she's a little chubby or could stand to lose a couple pounds. She is obese. So I didn't have to do all that, but I ain't had to do all that. She's obese, over 300 pounds. Obviously, this has affected her life a lot more than mine. Why he had to put it like that? But now that we have been together for so long, I don't know what to say. Okay, understandable. At first, when we were younger and before we had kids, I thought she would eventually lose some of the weight. She's tried Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Foodaholics, Jazzercise, water aerobics, different diets. You get the pictures. She done tried everything, honey, okay? And that weight ain't going nowhere, okay? It's waiting on her. All right, so he says, I've always been supportive and I've tried many of these with her. I'm not the most fit person myself. Just because you're slim doesn't mean you're fit. And I believe I have some kind of food addiction as well. Now that we have kids and due to the whole thing that's going on with the world, okay, you already know with COVID, I think she will just have excuse after excuse to not lose weight. Either is too busy with kids, can't go anywhere, doesn't like to sweat, it's too whatever the weather is outside or whatever else. Her weight has affected her health as well, but surprisingly, not many doctors say anything to her about it. When we were in our 20s, she fell and broke her ankle, and the doctor said she was morbidly obese. Ooh, this is a problem. Her and her mother were upset and appalled that he said this. Okay, so they're in denial. Years later, she had 2 other unrelated surgeries and was told to lose a certain amount of weight beforehand. She will always lose it and then put it back on after recovering. Now with the whole thing going on with COVID, she's also using the weight as her being higher risk. But again, won't put any effort to try and lose some. Again, I love my wife and I think it's a lot that I'm with her despite this physical flaw. I like to do, okay, with my wife. We have 3 children, but I'm not attracted to her body type. Now that we're getting older, early 40s, it's not as easy to get me going as it used to, and it just doesn't feel the same or as good. We have always had some limitations to what positions we could do, and I'm not that big of a guy anyway, so now we're pretty much limited to missionary. I've often had to think about someone else during sex. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is getting to be, yeah. I've often had to think about someone else during us doing it, and more recently, I'm either not interested at all, cannot stay hard the entire time, or don't even finish but feel obligated to still please her. She has also occasionally over the years thrown it in my face that she wants to do it more than I do and that I can have it anytime I want to, and even that she is more like the man she says because she always wants to do it. I've thought about cheating before and have had the opportunity more than once. I do not want to betray her, even if she were to find out. And I don't want a divorce. I don't want to lose access to my kids. It's not worth it for a one-night stand, and I don't have the time or interest for a side relationship. I'm always horny. I'm here on Reddit, but just not interested in her more often than I am. Obviously, my main concern is her health and happiness. I've said things to her about her weight over the years, but never in a mean or derogatory way. Everybody has problems, I get that. I'm not going to throw in her face when it's something she's been dealing with most of her life. But what do I do after all this time? If sex wasn't such a big deal to her, I wouldn't be worried about this as much. When we first met, we screwed like rabbits. But at the time, I just wanted sex and I didn't really concern myself about the weight. Now she gets pissed when we go weeks or sometimes months without it. How do I tell her I don't want to have sex with her? Oh, Okay, so ooh, y'all be having some real like real ish. Like, ooh, we all be having some real ish going on, so it ain't nothing. But Zay, you say, how do I tell her that I don't? First of all, that's not something that you tell her, especially if you plan on staying in this relationship. That's not something that you even let come out of your mouth. Now, I would say oh, this is tricky because she's already been to the doctors. The doctors have already told her. I would have y'all watched that show, My 600 Pound Life, because that's a good thing to watch in terms of like helping to direct her in the direction that she's going to be headed into if she doesn't decide to take her health seriously. Also watching, maybe pulling up some videos on YouTube and let her know, like, not even let her know, but watching it with her and being like, listen, I love you. I don't want you to get to this point to where, because it's so much that goes on with obesity. There's high blood pressure. You could have stroke, heart attacks, high cholesterol, like so much that goes on with this disease. And especially with her hitting over the 300 mark, she's really getting in that range to where it can be very dangerous. And I feel like, sometimes people need to see visually what their life is headed towards or what their life is going to be like in order for them to get that motivation. If that doesn't work, then you need to let her know, like, hey, I don't want to say that you're going to leave her because y'all been together for too long to even do that, to even think about that. But this is difficult because listen, a lot of times in order for you to get certain surgeries, like say get was I was about to say gastric bypass surgery, you have to be a certain weight. And if she's not that weight, then it's going to be difficult for her to get that surgery. And then at the same time, she has to have the willpower enough to say no to certain foods. So I would say this is a situation to where you need to help her out in terms of healthy eating. In fact, you need to go through the cabinet, and I would say for you to toss out all the snacks, all of that crap, or at least limit it down until finally y'all are down to at least like no snacks. Limit down the portions of the food if y'all do cook at home. And if you don't cook, try and get more into cooking at home, cooking healthy meals, cutting back on the fast food, going to fast food restaurants and things like that, and present more healthier meal options. And then at the same time, you need to be active with her in terms of doing like exercises and things like that. But it's definitely going to start with the meal portions, putting all the sugariness out of the way, all those sugary snacks, all those high salt snacks, because that's going to have an even bigger toll on her health with the fact that she's already obese, and you guys said morbidly obese. So that means that she's, I think morbidly is past obese. Like there's like obese, there's like overweight, obese, and then there's like morbidly obese. So I believe that's the top one. You getting to that point of being on my 600 pound life. So yeah, this is a situation to where ASAP you need to help her to cut out all the sugary snacks, all the unhealthy foods need to be taken out of the house, need to be disposed of, and you need to help her to focus more on eating healthy, eating smaller portions, and then at the same time getting active. You guys are gonna have to go out as a family, and y'all are gonna have to do more healthy activities, whether that's taking the kids to the park, whether that's walking around the mall, something. But something has to be done if you guys want to rekindle this relationship in terms of like being able to restore you guys' sex life. I'm so glad that you were in the headspace of not cheating, of not going and indulging into something else, because I definitely think that that's not worth it. But I think that this is a matter of you guys need to sit down and communicate and have a very heavy conversation. And then also as well, get certain family members involved, certain family members that understand what's going on, because you said that her mom was sitting back and like basically co-signing this behavior of her being overweight. So that's not going to help. But maybe if she has her dad or a sister or a brother that sees this as being a problem, you're going to have to get other people that see this as being a problem as well as you do involved into this, so that way you guys can have some sort of intervention. But it's definitely going to start with you having to help her out in terms of portioning the food and staying away from the snacks and staying away from fast food, because you already know in America, obesity is like the number one killer. but fast food is going to help her to just go even faster. Okay, and with her being obese, like I said, all them health problems is going to occur and arise, and it's going to lead her downhill. Okay, so let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. What he should do in this situation. Should he just cut out the sex altogether and just be like, and that could also be a thing too. Just be like, listen, if you're not going to care about yourself, then we aren't going to do it anymore. You give that ultimatum if she cares a lot about, sex and things like that. But I don't know, because once you do that, that's really going to cut back on, the feelings in the relationship, because a lot of marriages or a lot of relationships like that, I'm not saying that's the main thing, but that helps the relationship to go along. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, let me know what y'all think down below, what he should do in this situation. That's just my advice. Leave y'all comments down below as to what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.